Welcome to Great Getaways. Today we're going to enjoy a new way to tour that is both fuel efficient and great for your body, not to mention get you as close as possible to Mother Nature. We're going to cruise through small towns, go family biking in a beautiful national park, and do a little bit of extreme riding in Ontario's newest adventure park. So let's get started as we discover the Bruce Peninsula by bike. The Bruce, as it's affectionately known locally, is bordered by Lake Huron, the Georgian Bay, and the Niagara Escarpment. There are over 530 miles of coastline to explore. We have traveled here before to enjoy their world-class attractions such as the Bruce Trail, Bruce Peninsula National Park, and the Fathom 5 National Marine Park. Now it's time to start the first of a variety of bike trips that we will enjoy on this trip. It will be at the McGregor Point Provincial Park. Here we will meet our host and good friend, Chris Hughes. Chris has brought his family along to enjoy this great ride. McGregor Point Provincial Park is one of the most overlooked natural wonders along the Lake Huron shoreline. The forested provincial park offers the traveler many outdoor experiences to remember. The park consists of wetlands, former beach ridges, sand dunes, and forested communities. While the family was preparing our ride, we met with park interpreter Nora Toth, who gave us some great information on the McGregor Provincial Park. We're standing down here on the shores of Lake Huron right now. We're at the McGregor Point Provincial Park. And we're down here today to do a little bit of cycling. They got some great trails from what I understand. We've got Chris and his family are out here. And right now we're talking with Nora Toth, and Nora is a interpreter here at the park. And Nora, we thought maybe we would stop in and maybe talk to you a little bit and find out about the trails in the park. Do you have night trails?
We have wonderful trails. Actually, we have really great family trails because they're on low ground, they're even, and they're have a good solid base of crushed stone, and we just enjoy having people come. We have close to 30 kilometers of trails.
Wow.
or trails that you can use for biking. That may include some park roads, but trails that you can use for biking.
Okay, so it's a good spot to bring the entire family out
It
to
is.
then and cycle around. And you've got some nice sights in the park too. Part of it runs right along the lake here.
We have 7 kilometers of Lake Huron shoreline right here, and it's a beautiful shoreline. Now, not all of it is sandy, but we have a nice rocky shoreline, and of course the Old Shore Road Trail goes right along beside it.
Now, what is the interior of the park going to look like?
The interior of the park is more of a wetland habitat, and so when you take your bikes into the wetlands and you can go around and through some of the different wetland areas and see a variety of types of birds and wildlife.
Chris, have you actually ridden these trails before?
I have. We camp here quite often with the family because it's perfect. My kids 4 and 6, and they're amazing trails for them to ride.
And do they have any trouble on the trails
No,
at all?
not at all. They, you can go from one end to the other and back, and you don't even hear a whimper or a complaint. They really like it. It's perfect.
Well, now I know, Nora, that Chris mentioned that he comes down here and camps, so evidently you have a camping here too.
We have 360 campsites here at McGregor Point, and 12 of them have yurts on them. And yurts is a Mongolian tent-like structure, which is self-contained. We have everything you ever would want to have in it. Of course, you have to rent your bikes or bring your own, but you have everything you'd ever want attached to that yurt. And then we have electrical campsites as well as our regular campsites. People are here year-round.
Leaving the parking lot, everyone headed onto the trail, and just as Nora said, the trails were well packed and easy to ride. It was quite a sight watching little Kate and CJ pumping their short legs as fast as possible to keep ahead of everyone. I was amazed at how they were able to do it. Even young Ethan was enjoying this trip. We took the Old Shore Trail that follows along the Lake Huron shoreline and is perfect for the family and casual rider. In the pioneer days, it was part of the route that provided land transportation between Goderich and Southampton. This trail offers excellent views of the shore and beach areas. It was formerly a roadway and is great for cycling and serves as an excellent link to various areas in the park. Well, after riding for a while, we found ourselves next to the boardwalk that runs by the water and up to the visitor center. Chris, it's really been a nice trip. And great trail down along the beach like we are right now. As a matter of fact, I think that's where we talked to Nora earlier. Not too far from the visitor center, but we also had a chance to go through some of the woods that are here. It's just gorgeous out here. This is just an excellent place to be out. The trails are really good. They're actually kind of hard, which make it nice when you're out here and you're not going through a lot of the sand, unless you wanted to get out to the beach a little closer, I guess. But it's been a pretty good trip.
Yeah.
Most of the trails this way?
Yeah, the whole place there's about 20 kilometers of trails in total, which is a lot, especially for kids. And you can go all day and not ride the same trail. There's a big lookout tower. And even riding around the campground for the kids is fun. But it's all very scenic. We're right on the water here, so it's a special place.
And I've seen a lot of other people do come out and use it. And I've also seen, of course, on the boardwalks here, you can't actually ride your bikes on the boardwalk. If you do go up on it, you got to get off it and walk it. So keep that in mind when you're out here, because there are a lot of boardwalks around, and you're not allowed to ride them. Stay on the trails when you're riding. But great place to come out here, and it's worked up an appetite. Do you think we can go get some lunch?
Starving.
All right, and I bet the kids are
hungry?
too. Yep. Wanna go get something to eat?
Let's go eat.
All right.
Let's go eat.
We parked our bikes and picked up some hot brats and some veggies, and the whole gang sat down to take a break and enjoy this perfect trail lunch. The visitor center is also a great place to pick up maps, cold drinks, and even rent a bike if you don't want to bring your own, or maybe you're not a cyclist and would just like to give it a try. This makes it very convenient. The visitor center also offers different interpretive programs and is a wealth of information for travelers. You can find more information about the visitor center at our website, greatgetaways.tv. Well, that was a good lunch, and now it's time to get back on the trail. As we continued, we came across a great surprise for the kids, a playscape in the middle of the woods. Talk about the perfect setting for a bunch of little ones. The kids were having a ball, but we didn't want them to get too tired. We still had to ride back. So we jumped on the bikes and headed through the park to our vehicle and the ending of a wonderful outing. Now that was lots of fun and enjoyed by the whole family. Our next stop will be a different kind of biking as we headed to the Bruce Peninsula Adventure Park. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to get a little rad on you. We're going to take you out to Eastern Ontario's first free ride mountain biking park. Have I got that right, Chris?
That's pretty close. Yeah, this is the Bruce Peninsula Mountain Bike Adventure Park, and it's the first one in all of Eastern Canada. We were first out of the gate. We took what they do out west in the Rockies, and we brought it here to Bruce County, and man, is it ever awesome.
What is exactly we do?
Well, it's all a property that's full of different riding levels from beginner to advanced, and it's feature-based. So you get to ride off of log skinnies and teeter-totters and double teeter-totters, rock drop-offs, and we even have a ride here we're going to get you started on called Ride the Sign.
Okay, can anybody come up and do this?
Absolutely. It's free of charge, and we just want to make sure that you bring the proper safety equipment. Always wear your helmet. Bring your bike and come out and enjoy the day. It's perfect for all age levels.
I'm going to try it. So we're going to find out what this is all about. It sounds interesting. They got some beginner tracks here. I'm going to try that out first, and we'll see what it takes us.
Let's go.
You ready to go? If you enjoy a challenging trail system, this is the park to visit. The MBT Adventure Park has 15 miles of trails ranging from single to double track and rating from easy to advanced. I was sticking with the easy. According to local riders, the park offers some of the toughest single track available in the area because of the numerous rock gardens found along the trails. If you're not into cross country, then perhaps you would prefer to test your skills on one of the 30 technical trail features available at the park. I'll do a lot of things for my job, but I draw the limit here. Existing typographic features and man-made structures have been incorporated into the park system to heighten your senses of adventure and thrill. But don't worry, all the technical features are placed off to the side of the trails and have been rated for the level of difficulty. You can ride by it or you can try it. As you come down the pathway here, you'll find the main path to the side, and then you find other things off to the side, like this one's called the Shivering Timbers. Now there's things for all kinds of age groups here, but this is not one for mine, okay? I'm gonna let these young people take care of this one, and I like to watch them. I'm getting out of here. If you want to test your skills, there's no better place to do that than at the trails area located in the parking lot, where you'll find several features to try. Just so you know, the ground around the parking area is more forgiving than out on the trails. As I followed Chris, I took the smaller teeter-totter. I read the sign on the big one. It was donated to the park by some concerned parents for obvious reasons. I guess they didn't want it in their driveway. We had an opportunity to talk with the park's designer, Chris LaForest. Well, I'm out here, been having a great time. I'm worn out right now, so I'm gonna turn it over to Chris LaForest. And Chris is the mastermind behind all this. And Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about how it got started and what all we've got here?
Okay, thanks, Tom. This is called the Peninsula Mountain Bike Adventure Park. And we had this idea that we build a place, a facility where all different levels of ability could ride together. So if you're an absolute beginner, you can come out on the trail and you might be with your father or your son who's maybe an expert rider. And as you go through the main trails, there's always something interesting and fun and challenging for the more difficult type levels. And it's basically a family facility, but also an awesome place if you're a highly skilled rider to come out and test your skills. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, I know going through the trails myself, I was a little bit surprised because I don't do that much riding, so I'm really an amateur when I come out here, but yet there were a lot of things I was able to do, and of course I got a couple pros with me here today, your son.
Yeah, right on.
Oh, that's Chris LaForce's son that's jumping off those rock cliffs. I was really impressed when I found out he was only 13. Well, I'm still in one piece and no worse for wear. Now I can say I did it, but I think I'll leave it to the younger folks like Chris next time. Hey Denny, have you got any aspirin? Now I know these trails didn't just appear and wondered what was involved in putting together some world-class biking trails. Well, of course, Chris was ready for my question and did more than just answer it. He took us to an area that was under development for one of the newest trails so we could experience firsthand the building of these wilderness bike paths. We've been up here, we've been doing some riding, some biking out here. We have been out on the trails and you know, you kind of get out there and you ride them, you take them for granted. What we have done is come out, and this is what we're in now, is called the Lindsay Tract, and it's a brand new trail system that's out here, and we're going to be looking at what actually goes into making these trails, what makes them last so long, what makes them ride so well, and to help me do this is Britney. Now Britney, you're on here, you're working on the trail yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the system you're working on right now?
Okay, well, we build our trails under the IMBA, the International Mountain Biking Association, and we build sustainable trails. And there's about 11 of us working on the trail right now, and it's all built through hand tools.
Okay, now a couple of words you said kind of caught my ear here, and it's sustainable as one. So we're making trails that are going to last a long time, is that correct?
Definitely.
And what's making them last a long time like that?
Well, you don't want them too wide. We usually make them about 1.5 feet wide, and that deters four-wheelers coming in. So we have like choke points that just ensure that people in motorized vehicles don't come in and wreck our trail, because it takes a lot of work. We're out here 6.5 hours a day.
This tradition has continued over the past 5 years, and more than 40 individuals have worked in the Trails program.
You hear that right there?
This is too much like work. It's the trail crews that make these trails possible. Through rain, shine, and snow, they are out there building these trails. We would get on our bikes and tour the town of Wyerton. This is another sleepy little village located on the big waters of the Georgian Bay. I love coming here. I continue to build great memories. We made a stop at the famous statue of Wyerton Willie, Canada's famous groundhog predictor of seasons. We toured along the water and discovered areas that I never really noticed by car, but on a bike was given a whole new perspective. The air smelled so good, I wish I could bottle it and bring some home with me. It was time to move back into the bush for another Bruce County adventure as we discovered the Brant Tract. The Brant Tract contains 781 acres of mixed hardwoods and softwoods and contains approximately 30 kilometers of trail. Well, we're starting out today, and we've got some overcast skies, and the temperature is a little bit cooler, which is going to be kind of good. We're down at the Brant Tract right now, and we've been taking a look at some of the different types of cycling opportunities that are up here in Bruce County.
Yeah, the Brant Tract where we're at now is about 32 kilometers in length, and it's all what we call single track trail, and that's perfect for cross-country mountain biking. So it's fast, it's an aerobic workout, the trails are very flowy, so there's not a lot of obstacles to go over, so you can really crank it up and scream through these trails. They're all river valleys that drain down towards the Saugeen River, so there's some ups and downs, so some climbs. It's a great workout coming here.
It sounds like it's going to be. Right now, we're going to get things going, hit the trail. I'm anxious to get out there, but I'm letting you lead. You know the way.
Let's go.
These trails range from single track, double track to roadways suitable for all levels. The two road systems located on the property are the West Trail and the East Trail. The 20 kilometers of single tracked wilderness trail can be accessed from either of the main road systems in the park. Picnic areas, benches, boardwalks, and bridges can be found throughout the park. This is a multi-use trail system, and it's quite common to encounter other users on a double track, such as equestrian.
Well, I'll tell you, Chris, just like you said, this is a nice ride through here. Good flow through it.
Yeah.
You can really get going. You got to watch yourself. I almost took me out a tree back there. I had to make a quick stop. But you know what? This is really a good workout. I know I'm in the baby boomer stage here, and I think it's good for a lot of people my age to be getting out here and doing this kind of stuff. I know when you think about it, and when most people think about it, they think of the younger crowd doing it.
Yeah.
But actually, we're seeing a lot of older folks out here that are doing this kind of thing.
This style of riding, like in this property, this cross-country style that we call it, is great for all ages, and it's never too late to start biking. We all grew up as kids on bikes.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of memories, and people need not get afraid that it's called mountain biking, but this is pretty safe, and it's a good aerobic workout. And with the new bike technology, like these bikes we're riding on now, it's absolutely, I don't want to say it's effortless. You got to put a lot of effort in, but because they're full suspension, it takes a lot of the jabs and the boniness out of the trail, and that normally would transfer up to your body, and it makes you more relaxed. You're less tired, less fatigued at the end of the day. There's lots of travel on these shocks, both front and back. And these bikes are pretty affordable now. No matter what the manufacturer, everybody makes a good quality, affordable mountain bike.
The Brant boasts more than 20 kilometers of hand-cut single-track tread. That's right, no machines were used to make this single track, just hand tools and the blood and sweat of the past and present trail crew workers and, of course, dedicated volunteers. Trails range from tight and technical to open and flowing concepts that can satisfy the beginner, me, to the more advanced cross-country rider.
Well, Chris, I know that something we haven't mentioned and something people definitely want to do when they're out there doing this is to have a helmet on. The red equipment really helps out a lot.
Yeah, a helmet is mandatory on all of our properties, and it just makes good common sense.
Yes.
The other bit of padding and protection you want to invest in a good pair of cycling shorts, and something.
What does that do for you?
Well, these shorts, they breathe really well, so when you get hot and sweaty, but also it's got a chamois, or it's got padding on the inside of the short that protects your rear end for when you're bouncing over top of some of this stuff. And also the seats. Seats are good too, but you always want to get a good pair of padded shorts.
Yeah, I'm finding that out.
Yeah.
The seat's not enough.
the jeans and the seat.
After a few hours of riding, you begin to feel it back there, and it hurts a little bit. As a matter of fact, at breakfast this morning, I was sitting on a wood bench, and I knew it then.
That's
too.
Right, padded shorts. Next time.
Keep those things in mind when you're out riding.
You bet.
If you've never ridden a single track, come and try it out. I guarantee you'll get hooked. While riding through the property, you will view spectacular vistas of valleys, wetlands, towering pines, and some of the biggest mosquitoes you'll ever see. So pack the bug dope and ride fast. We have experienced it all, from a family tour through the beautiful McGregor Park, adventure biking that tested my mettle, and even learned more about what goes into building these great trails. Now we're going to end our trip with a relaxing ride through the quaint little town of Southampton, located on the Georgian Bay. Here we would meet our hosts for this part of our trip, Chris, BJ, and Paul. We're here in Southampton, a great little beach town up here on the peninsula, and we're going to be doing a little bit of biking around town. Chris, maybe you can explain where we're at and what we got planned.
Yeah, we're in Southampton, and we're at Martin's Bike Shop. And the best way, if people are coming up on holidays, if they don't have their bikes, the best way is to pop in to the local bike shop here and get some rentals, some nice big cruisers, and cruise around the beach.
Okay, have they got like trails or something that we can go on here?
Yeah, there's the rail trail that runs between Southampton and Port Elgin, and then there's the beautiful shore road that we're going to go on today that goes right along the water. View of Chantry Island Lighthouse in the background. We might even catch a sunset too on the.
Ooh, that'd be really sweet.
And ice cream.
And ice cream, I can go for that.
Hey Brett, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
We're here for some bikes, do some cruising.
Sure. Get looking to rent a few bikes. How many?
4.
4 bikes.
And I think you're going to come with us too.
I might have to. Looks like a nice day out.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful day out there. What kind of bikes have you got here, Brett?
All right. Well, for rentals, I got some mountain bikes. I got cruisers and road bikes. What kind of riding are you guys going to be doing today?
We want beach cruiser.
Beach cruisers? Yeah.
Now, I must admit that I did not know that they even made these fat-wheeled bikes called cruisers. They were the bikes all of our parents used to ride many years ago. After getting all the information and safety reminders, we jumped on our bikes on this beautiful summer day and started our adventure. Well, we've got everything set. We're on the cruisers. We're ready to get on the road here. What do you say we get started?
Let's roll. Nice.
This was great, riding down the middle of the street without a care in the world, the warm breezes from the bay blowing into our face, and the warm summer sun reflecting off the water like thousands of diamonds dancing to the tune of the lapping waves. Just ahead was a beautiful little park on the shoreline where we could see the Chantry Island Lighthouse. That's another adventure in itself. Wow, Brett, this is a nice spot here. Now, we've just come down the main street and we've actually dead-ended down here at the lake. A nice little park here too. What park is this?
It's called the Cenotaph here in Southampton. So we have like a monument for, like Remembrance Day.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sort of thing. And then what they've done in the past like 10 years, they've erected this flagpole here, which is 128 feet high to kind of, commemorate the centennial of Southampton, or well, to the date. Mm-hmm. And then they've got a flag, which unfortunately isn't flying today because this morning it was too windy. But it's roughly 50 by 30.
That's a good sized flag.
Yeah, similar to the ones that you'd see over the ports in Michigan, like Alpena and
Sure,
City.
Sure.
So it's kind of the idea. That's why they made one here as well. And then off in the distance, about 1 mile offshore, you can see Chantry Island.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. You can see the lighthouse out there and everything, so it's a good spot to come down here and get the view of the beach. As we rode through town, someone asked if I was in the mood for some homemade ice cream. Well, they didn't have to ask me twice. I think I was in the store and in line before they even got off their bikes. Well, it's a great little stop to take a break, have yourself an ice cream, and just stop and enjoy the quaint little town that we have here. We're going to head out to the rail trail from here, Paul, and can you tell us how we get there from here?
Yeah, we just go right down High Street here to Grosvenor at the corner, turn left, and go as far as you can drive till you can't go any further. And you park and you start riding from there.
Cool, good. So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. We hit the trail again, and as soon as we finish our ice cream. A popular trip is to travel the entire trail by bike from Port Elgin to Southampton and loop back along the scenic North Shore Road where beautiful views of Lake Huron can be experienced.
In front of us here? Yeah, just in front there you can see the mark of the Saugeen Rail Trail.
There it is. Now you said it was a rail trail, so I'm assuming this old railroad grade?
Yes, it used to be the old CN rail line, and the station is just at the end of the street here, the Grosvenor's restaurant.
You know, I seen that when we went by. That's a good restaurant in town then.
Excellent, like gets reviews in Toronto magazines all the time.
Oh, no kidding. Just some of the things you're going to find here. Now, what are we going to find as we go down the trail?
Oh, you're just going to see some excellent greenery, a bit of wildlife, but still it's a nice, gradual slope, nothing too intense, so just great for a nice leisurely ride.
That's what we're looking for today, is a way to do that. We would continue our ride on the Saugeen Rail Trail. It was a year-round, multi-use trail that connected Southampton with Port Elgin, Ontario. Built on an old railway line, the trail is easily accessed and used by visitors and residents alike. The trailhead is at the River Street in Port Elgin, a few blocks north of town and east of Highway 21. There are several access points, some with parking, some without. For more information finding this trail, check out our website for details. Well, I was getting hungry and Chris had a surprise. He said he was buying dinner. Great, I thought, and soon Chris came back with more French fries than I'd ever seen. Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans. I did, and I had some of the best fries I've ever had. Later, Chris would take us all out for a dinner to remember in downtown Southampton. Well, our day was coming to an end. It was absolutely the most beautiful night you can imagine. There was a warm breeze and the smell of the Great Lake in the air. Tugboats resting in the harbor as if to say it's time to sleep because tomorrow's a big day. We came to the shoreline for a breathtaking sunset. It seems like every sunset on the Bruce is like a painting, and this one was special. If you enjoyed today's show and would like more information for your own great getaway, you can get a free guide to biking the Bruce by calling the number on your screen. You can also get instant information at our website, including video clips of today's show, maps of the trails we rode, including information that we put together on what to bring and how much time to allow for each part of the trip. Here's a great way to end your day of biking around town. You come on down here at the mouth of the Saugeen River. You've got a pier that runs out. There's a small lighthouse that's out here. We've got a beautiful sunset. Keep in mind, we're in Bruce County, Ontario. As we look out across Lake Huron, we're looking to the west, and you get your best sunsets from here. So this is a beautiful place to come down here. A nice place to spend the end of the day, just sitting out here, relaxing, and enjoying the sunset. We said goodnight and so long to our new friends and headed in for a good night's sleep. This was another trip that I would long remember.